Oh my gosh, it's July already, Loretta. So here we are with our update since last month, and you've got you're going to run this one, so you go for it.
I've got a big list. We've just finished Emma's book.
Oh gosh, okay. So there are a number of finished books this month. One of them is Emma Galton's Our Tom, which is a First World War romance action novel. Really beautiful, and for that we used an amazing narrator of Emma's choice, David Alt, and he's in Britain, and he had exactly the right accent and tone that she wanted. But it was also our first SFX heavy laden a book, which means that there were a lot of sound effects and music, and that's the way that Emma wanted to run this particular show. I have to say, it just sounds amazing. So we're going to be using it as a model for other people who want to add elements of, of sound and music, so that it sort of enriches the experience for the reader and gives them a sense of the period, because this is a period piece.
Yeah.
First World War, Gaza Strip, the whole thing.
Gosh, okay.
Yeah.
And we have Natasha's book.
Natasha Piccolo, who has written a very beautiful book called The Balance Theory. Natasha is a speech pathologist, highly qualified and extremely busy. And she's written this book that is part spiritual, part personal, and so lovely that I know that everyone who auditioned for it just said, I'm going to buy a copy of this book, because it's just something that drew them immediately. And
what was your initial feeling when you realised Natasha was a speech pathologist?
Yeah.
And then you needed to find narrators.
Because her ear is so refined, right? So, she was she was very much on the ball in terms of understanding. You know what it did? It gave me a better understanding about how valuable audiobooks are, because she appreciated the fact that things coming in through the ear are really important and intense experience. So she took very special care to choose a narrator that it was going to be just right. Even though it was in first person. And I have to commend Natasha for this, because a lot of people who are authors and writers say, if it's in first person, I'm the only one who can read it. I'm the author, because I'm the only one who understands the nuances of it.
Oh, it's so personal.
It is.
Very personal.
I understand that impulse. But she also understood that firstly, she's not a professional narrator, and that the voice, she had a great deal of respect for performers and what a performer can do, in a situation like that. And I have to say, she was thrilled at every step of the way. So we have a very immersive process for the author in this. And I sometimes worry that people are going to be too busy to do it. So we do have total capability. We can take your book if you like, and we can have it narrated by somebody amazing, and we can present it to you. But somebody like Natasha, her books are full. She has back-to-back appointments every day. She's got a 2-year-old and she's got a household to run. So she didn't have a lot of time at all. However, because of the systems that we've developed that make it so easy, she was able to do the chapter descriptions, which is, the directions for the narrator. She got to know and feel a nice bond with Sarah Armanius, who did the most amazing job. In fact, and Natasha has built in some extra credits, in her book to thank Sarah.
Oh, that's lovely.
I know, and us, because she felt that Sarah really embodied the energy of the book and really spoke as if it was from her. So we built a methodology between Sarah and I and Natasha that if we came across a section that we weren't quite sure of, we would text her, or we would send a text audio. And Natasha, during her break, would send a little note back.
Yeah.
And so to clear things up. how does she want us to say or om? Like, and we sort of tried the different ways. And she was able to give us the answer straight away.
And actually that worked for her.
Oh,
and
yeah.
If it, another author would prefer to have a scheduled weekly meeting, then we'd do that as well.
Yeah. So it does fit in, but in general, the feedback that we get is that the author is very early on realizes what a different experience the audiobook is in terms of translating their book to an audience in a really different way and really in a richer way. Like Natasha's feedback, which is quite articulate, was that she was re-experiencing the book and feeling that it was such a fresh rendition of the words and the effort that she put into it.
Well, that's nice.
I mean, you're a writer and I'm a writer. We know how much effort goes into getting that page, and to have it respected, is exactly what we want to do. Respect, that manuscript, and make sure that it sounds well, that the person who's listening has an equivalent experience to a person who's reading it. Yeah.
And Albert's happy with his book?
Albert Gormley, yes, he's a wonderful verse novelist. We've finished his book. It's being uploaded now. So every time an author finishes, they need to finish. We also get them to fill in. We try not to shock them too much in the beginning with what's called a metadata form. So before something goes up, into the world, there's all sorts of details that you have to fill in, so that you define your book, you give a précis of it, you give your bio, you give all sorts of categories in which you think it will go and how it will sell. You give a price, so it's a very long form, and we help people through that. So he's gone through that. It's now been uploaded about a week ago. It should start appearing.
I noticed when I asked the question, Maria's eyes darted towards a laptop. It was almost scanning to see, is it up yet? Is a notification there?
We do, and we do it week by week.
Yeah.